Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be doing a night flight on the DJI Mini 2, testing it in real world conditions to show you what the footage looks like straight out of the drone. So you have seen on a previous night flight video of mine, it was in really good conditions around Blackpool Tower with lots of lighting. You may have seen other videos where it's in a city with loads of lights. But if you're just going to be flying it from your house where there's just house lighting and some street lighting, this is generally what you're going to get as a real world image out of the drone. I'm going to be testing out photos, videos, different frame rates, and all this is loaded in 4K, so make sure you are watching it in the highest quality you can do. We're just going to fast forward over to this building and I'm going to switch over and show you the different frame rates. So we have been in 4K 30, now we're at this building. I'm just going to switch over now and I'm going to put it over to 1080p 30 and then show you that image straight off the memory card as well. So you'll see there's not much difference between those two images. There's no more exposure on one than the other. I would personally select the 4K 30 just trying to get the best quality, but what I wouldn't select is the 2.7K 60. You can see now it's so much darker because it's in 60 frames. So save that for daylight or when you're at night but you've got really good lighting conditions and you want to slow that footage down. You shouldn't be slowing any footage down when it's this dark. You'll get really poor quality. So I'll switch it back now to 4K 30 because I think this renders the best image at night time in poor lighting like this. The only thing lighting this image are some street lightings and some buildings. And I'm just going to show you now, you can put it into manual, change the shutter speed and the ISO, but for actually flying around recording when it's this dark, you're going to have to constantly be changing this. So I would just use this solely for photos, which I'll get onto, but this is the image using the manual as well. But every time you then move the drone, you're going to have to check the shutter speed and the ISO and keep changing it. So unless you're actually getting a really good image and you're just getting maybe the one shot, I really wouldn't bother. I'd just keep it in auto when it's in poor lighting like this. But also don't be too put off by the image you see on your phone. The actual footage from the memory card is so much nicer and it's not as grainy like it appears when you're looking at it through the phone display that's coming from the drone. So as you can see now, the difference between the phone shots, which is screen recorded, and then the memory card, it looks so much nicer and crisper. So again, on the photos you'll see a huge difference, but I think for the 4K 30 in lighting like this, we're just going over a big field now, so there's not much in lighting around here at all, and it still produces that nice image that you'll see. So I think quality wise it's decent and it's good enough in poor conditions like this, which is what you're probably going to experience if you are flying from your back garden or around your streets where you live. As I change position, you'll see why we've got the strong wind warning. It actually is throwing that drone about. Look at the attitude indicator in the bottom left hand corner, just at what angle that drone is at, and the gimbal's being flown about and everything, but it actually sorts itself out and renders a nice stable image as I'm actually going to be flying forward now. So that wind, again, in these conditions, it's really windy this evening, and it still produces a really nice decent image. 4K 30 image we've now switched over to. And now we're going to have a look at the photos and you'll see what I mean by don't be putting too much hope into the display and see what the image produces. So we've now switched over to photos and look how grainy and crap that looks. But when you actually take the photo, this is the JPEG image, which some of you may have seen on the YouTube clip last night, and then the actual raw image, you can even play with it even more because it renders a lot more detail and you can bring much more light into that shot. But again, just looking at the on-screen display there, it just looks terrible, and you might be thinking I'm not even going to bother taking any pictures, but do so, do give it a try, don't put too much into it. Again, it gives a much nicer image in terrible lighting conditions like this. The JPEG and then the raw image second. The raw even brings up some of the details in the sea at the top. Excellent quality coming from this in really bad lighting. We'll just show you now, you can switch over and change that manual, but you're going to have to bring the shutter speed really down and have a really high ISO in images like this. Does it produce any better image than auto? Well, again, it depends on your lighting position and what you want to take a photo of, but I'm just taking a picture of this farm here, so just for the sake of this video I'll just show you. I'll just get it positioned, and this is the JPEG manual image coming from the drone, so it gives a very similar look to it. So I really wouldn't probably bother if I was you in bad lighting like this. Use that when you've got a ND filter on in really good daylight conditions, or if you're taking something where you've got a lot of lighting around it. In really poor lighting like this, just stick on auto, it's more than good enough. But again, now just flying over these houses here, it still produces a nice image, and you can still have some fun with this flying from your house. What's good about this here is I'm actually flying on the opposite side of my house. I'm in the back garden, so I've got a big bricked house blocking that signal, and it still renders a decent signal, able to film these images now. Just filming some cars going around because this is all we can do at the moment. So stay tuned for some more exciting footage coming after lockdown. But as you see from these images, then the quality is more than good enough. But the 2x zoom, I probably wouldn't use it again in lighting like this. Just switch over to it, and this is what it looks like in 2x 4K zoom. It's really grainy in the corners, but in really bad lighting like this, you don't really need to use 2x zoom, do you? Use that again for something decent. So just ending now, bringing the drone back in. I love this feature so much. I've used it a lot recently, and I hope some of you have seen in my last video how I've done this. If you haven't, I will make a video on it. But you can actually control your drone coming in whilst actually filming it. This is on iOS. I'm not sure if you can do it on Samsung. Please check it out and let me know. But I'm actually bringing the drone in now whilst filming the drone through my phone. Amazing to be able to capture this decent quality on your phone as well when it's landing. Hope you enjoyed that, guys, and it just shows that that Mini 2 is still in really bad lighting like that, can produce some good images. If you do want the raw images that I've taken today, just let me know in the comments down below. Just put hashtag please send me the raw images and I will send you them over. Take care, guys. I'll see you very soon. I've got some good videos coming up really soon, and one of them showing you how to edit on the DJI Fly app. So take care, guys. Bye bye.